and Leicester. You want to tilt that camera down a little bit, or
Yeah, right.
I don't want to, but I will for the vibes.
for the vibe? Oh, I was gonna say, how low are you going now?
Crotch shot. It's a crotch shot.
I was about to say this. You couldn't handle what's down there, bro.
Whoa.
Could I see it with all that hair?
What the
Whoa. Got it. Got him.
Tell you what, 2019 shooters are shooting, so I'll let that one go by. I will let that one go by.
I don't think you had a choice, bro. You didn't have a choice to let that one go.
I'll let that go by.
It got jams.
What up, everyone? PFC 288. Doing this remote, had a lot of shit to do during the day, so we figured we'd squeeze this in late night on a Sunday. Premier League Matchday 32 review, but before we get into it, just want to give a quick shout out to some dear friends of the show, Jeff, Wall, and Holly. Started a podcast. It's called Tiki Talker, named after me, I think. That's not confirmed, but great name. It's a soccer podcast like ours. I think they're dating. I mean, it's pretty awkward if they're not dating anymore, but I think when they started listening, they were dating. So hopefully they're still together.
Couple.
Right? Hopefully they're still together. But yeah, man, check out their show, Tiki Talker. Awesome podcast. Check it out on Google Play and SoundCloud. But yeah, let's get into it, man. Liverpool 2, Spurs 1.
Bro, fuck that game, bro.
EPL's back.
Fuck that game. Nah.
That's all I got. Shaking my head, man. That's all I got. Absolutely disappointed, yeah.
Best game of the
Why?
weekend, at
Because your
least.
boy, you Reese, is a top 5 goalie?
He's a fraud, bro. Nah, bro, he's a fraud. Nah, I'm done with it, bro. He's a fraud.
Look, all right. He fucked up, man. There's no two ways about it. It's a suspicious error for me. For me, it's suspicious. I can't say it's... Huh?
He's got this in his game, bro.
Yeah, he does have it in his game, and for me, it's becoming more suspicious. I didn't see much of it in the last couple of years or so. Obviously, you see it here and there, but not at this, like, not when a game was on the line like this. I haven't seen him blow it like this. Usually, it's, lack of concentration. Teams up by 2 or 3 goals, and the opponents pull one back.
A lot, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't do it a lot.
And he doesn't do it in massive moments, too.
Like, it's going to happen like twice a year, 3 times a year, where he just makes an egregious error where you're like, is this dude for real right now?
But I feel like that kind of represents the entire Tottenham team. Like, they have a great season, and then near the end, they just mess it up, can't win the league. And it's like, is this team really for real?
Yeah,
Look,
the reason I love Spurs, man, is because I don't see them as a threat to win the Premier League, even though, what was it, like 3 or 4 match days ago, they were, within full points of the top team. I think it was City at the time. But looking at them this year, no signings made in the summer. If you look at it, what they were last year versus this year, they were a better team as far as points this year. But again, the foundation of this team is that when it really matters at the end of the race, that's when they buckle. And they did nothing over the summer to bring in pieces to kind of alleviate that. You see Pochettino's exacerbated, sitting in the stand, serving his band. You see the disappointment in his face. In 1 week, he lost the Madrid job and the United job. We'll get into those two a little bit later, but it's looking like good old Spurs. Tom calls it every year. I kind of bite on it, but I still think that Spurs are playing at a level where I think they deserve more credit than they're getting. Everyone's going to focus on the crash, the stumble, but year over year, they've been improving, man. And it's unfortunate that they can't put it together for any kind of silverware.
I love Spurs for that reason. They're the ultimate moral victory team. Like, all right, we're in the title race. Look what we're doing in Champions League, advancing further than we ever have. As long as they're not winning trophies, I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned. These players will eventually get tired of it. And for me, their fullbacks are being exposed more and more.
Yep.
Now, I think they're going to need to replace that left back position. Danny Rose is getting older. I think he's past his prime. Davies, he's been all right, but I guess
he's been injured in and out.
Backup instead of a starter.
Need a right back, bro. They need to sell Toby Alderweireld, bro. They got a lot of things they got to work on.
He's not.
Wait, you said right back?
He's solid. Yeah. For me.
Well, what about right back?
What?
What about right back? Why do they need to replace right back?
Bro, Trippier's been garbage this year, bro.
Yeah, but what about Walker Peters? I don't know. The only game he played, he had 3 assists.
Come on, Lee. Come on,
he
Lee.
played one game and he had 3 assists.
Don't bite, fellas. Don't bite. Don't bite. He's
Why not?
he's fishing early.
think-
He's fishing early.
Yeah,
He's
for
fishing
me-
early.
I'm not gonna
Potential.
go for that.
Nah, look, for me, I kind of understand what Huss is saying. We always say, play the youth, play the youth. This is a perfect opportunity to bring in a guy like Walker Peters and getting him experience. Look at Trent Alexander-Arnold. No one knew who but no one who knew Trent Alexander-Arnold was until he was tested and he passed. This kid, Kyle Walker Peters, hasn't been tested. Yes, maybe he would have got stuffed against Mane, but the few times we've seen him, this kid has been solid. But look at Trent playing in the Champions League. We're like, oh, he's playing PSG. He's going to get exposed. Doesn't get exposed. Certain games he does because he's a young player. But we can see, there's talent there. For me, with Kyle Walker Peters, just give the kid some minutes. Give him some minutes. Let's see what he can do. Maybe not against this Liverpool team. But
don't start him against Liverpool.
No, not against Liverpool. But there's 32 other games he could have played. He hasn't played. We're not saying specifically Liverpool. What we're saying is you're saying Trippier phase him out, and Huss wisely is saying, well, you got a Kyle Walker Peters there. Why not test him out the rest of the season to see in the summer if you really do need to buy in that position?
He looked good last year too, and look, remember Trippier? We saw him in the World Cup, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, Trippier! Who? Kyle Walker? Who?" Guys, it's too early right off Trippier. He still has a few good seasons. I mean, you can bring somebody in now, like a Walker Peters, and you said, phase him in nice and slowly. And guess what? You have all of next season. If you don't like him, get somebody else. But you don't have to get rid of Trippier right now.
I'm with that, Huss. I'm with it. But
let's talk about Mohamed Salah, bro, and what this goal means. It was a Fugazi error. We understand, but he did put enough power on the header to at least throw your recent Fugazi ass to cause an error. What does this goal mean?
Nothing.
For Salah.
Nothing for Salah.
It was an own
Nothing
goal
for Salah. Thank you. It was an own goal from a mistake. What should be focused on, and this is the shit. This is why I get extra hate on Salah. Because what should be focused is him being cowish in the last minute, heads it softly into Lloris's hands. If Lloris wasn't suspect of shit, he would have caught that. 90th minute, the focus would have been, hey, Salah, how about you learn to finish? But instead, he gets lucky. The goalie causes an error, and it goes in an own goal. And you see Salah celebrate with more passion than I've ever seen him celebrate any of his goals. And everyone bites into it. Oh, Salah, yes, we agree it was an own goal, but man, what does this mean for Salah? Yo, fuck Salah. He still got a duck.
Wow.
He still got a duck, and he was cowish when it mattered. Last year, Salah puts that away for the win. This year, he was cowish, and he got lucky. Liverpool got bailed out, man.
Okay, he did that on purpose. He did that on purpose.
11 games, one goal. 11 games, one goal. Let's talk about that.
You know what? Salah's going to shoot. Salah's going to shoot. No, I'm going to head it softly. Lloris is like, oh, I got messed up. And, I'm going to hit it into auto right now and get on goal. It was mental games by Salah. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
When we talk about Lloris having a bad game, I actually was expecting some texts from Tiki about Allison because he had 4 or 5 mistakes in this game.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning, he went for the grab.
Hit in the head, bro. He put the ball in the head.
Him and Milner.
Dude, literally, I mean, this is that shit, right? So, no one's going to – thank you. Huss, me and you are kindred spirits, bro. I've missed you on the show. Again, the focus – luckily, Liverpool won, but no one's going to talk about Alisson and him – in the last, 2 or 3 games, the goal Bobble got against Fulham. Granted, there was more Virgil van Dijk, but at the same time, it's that communication between the goalkeeper and his defense. And you saw it today again multiple times to where one of the balls, the one that hit off his head, it's like, guys, why isn't Alisson having questions asked about him? Why? Because he's got fancy feet, man. But we're looking at his hands and we're looking at his decision making. And I'm not talking about when he decides to dribble and cut back and shit. That's part of his game. That's whatever. I'm talking about specifically the technicalities of goalkeeping and commanding your area. He looks like he's having a bit of trouble with that.
As long as Liverpool keep getting results, that's when, I'm not saying we should overlook things. It's good to look at the details and analyze it regardless of what it is. But, when they pull a result out of it, it's not as of a deal than when you lose.
No, but it's the same.
Facts. It's not.
No, but Karius got the same heat, right? Karius and Mignolet last year, they were in a Champions League final. You know what I mean? With Karius and Mignolet. So, I'm not sitting here saying Alisson's not.
Right?
Exactly.
So, if Karius makes that error and they go on to win, he's most likely still a backup at Liverpool. So, that's what I'm saying. Wins and losses do define performance. Now, you can look deeper. And I agree. Like Alisson mess up, he has to be aware. But when you have Virgil van Dijk in there holding things down, he's really the best defensive guy for them. De Gea's been the best defensive guy for Man United for a while. Virgil van Dijk is that guy holding it down. You know what I mean? So as long as Liverpool have that rock in the back, for the most part, they'll be all right. Now, for me,
yeah, but we don't know that until the end of the season with silverware. We don't know that. Like, all I'm saying is, at least on right now, yes, there are a lot of wins. But if there's no silverware at the end of the season, I'm not sitting here saying Alisson should be, they should consider a new goalie. I think Alisson deserves time, and he's shown way more positive than negative. But like, where the fucking headlines about this guy, guys? Come on.
Well,
look,
he's not the
he's
one
made
who
some great
calls
saves.
the game. So why should there be
Mm-hmm.
headlines?
Besides De Gea, I think Alisson is definitely top 2, top 3 in the EPL. He has made some great saves. Yeah, he made some blunders, but everyone besides De Gea, actually, no, De Gea made a couple blunders this year too.
Lloris is the same thing. Lloris makes blunders too.
A few more.
Not a few more.
Guys,
Not a few more, bro.
Oh, everyone. No one's perfect.
Thank you. No one's perfect. So why y'all boys on my fucking boy Yaris? Calling him a fraud.
Yaris, he says, bro.
Google Yaris.
Let's be honest right now. Van Dijk, definitely top 3 defender in the world.
No,
number one.
Top 1.
Number one.
Maybe top 1, but the point
he is
is,
number 1. He's number
like
1.
this year, Liverpool have left the least amount of goals at 19. Yes, that's Virgil van Dijk, but that's also Alisson as well. I mean, that's everyone. But I mean, is Alisson an upgrade from Mignolet and Karius? Absolutely. Even if you put Mignolet and Karius in net together, it's still an upgrade.
Look, he's a Brazilian starting goalie.
Huh?
And Ederson is behind him.
Yeah.
Starts behind him. So.
But enough about Liverpool. Let's talk about Tottenham. Let's talk about Tottenham real quick. That goal that they scored, bro, I'm sorry. Harry Kane's the best striker in the world. Drops deep off the free kick. Probably wasn't a legal play because the ball was technically still moving. But that was an unreal pass to who was it on the right? I think it was Trippier. He just gets the ball. He gets fouled by Van Dijk. By the way, Harry Kane not getting a goal in this game. All the hate he's been getting because Spurs are on the slide. But Harry Kane's still putting in work every single game. Either he's scoring, he's helping create the chance, bro. That goal was certified 100% made by Harry Kane.
Hey, you want a towel? Your mouth is drooling from all the fucking nut that's dripping from Harry Kane's kid. All right, dude.
It was also bad defense by Trent.
Right?
Nah.
Because Trent didn't follow the play and the ball bounced out to the 6.
No, that was Robertson then because it was on the left-hand side. It was on the left-hand side.
No, it bounced from,
it was on the left.
What?
It was Bobbert.
So Harry Kane got fouled by Van Dijk.
Well, I'm talking about
the goal.
Yeah.
Got it.
Eriksson flubbed it, and then it went across the 6, and Trent didn't follow his guy, or maybe he wasn't able to get back in time, which I think he should have been able to, but he was wide open. That's Trent's mistake right there. But I mean, I think the one thing in my mind about this game was it wasn't necessarily who's the better team. It was down to who's gonna screw it up more, and Tottenham screwed it up more.
Yeah, but you can, and I agree with you, Huss. Again, weird. I think Tottenham had chances to win this game. That 2v1, where basically Virgil was like, "I don't respect you, Sissoko. I'm gonna give you this opportunity." Sissoko was like, "Please, no, don't do this to me," and then fucking panicked and just swung it with his left, dude. Like that was just
Premier League fan zone, bro. Sent it to Boston where they have them Premier League.
Right? It was so panicky.
He never looked like he wanted to shoot it.
It's me, Fareed, Al, nothing like I was saying earlier, and this whole time, I'm thinking in my head, don't let Son get the ball. Don't let Son get the ball. Sissoko misses the net. Horrible shot. Al, he's not supposed to be scoring breakaways. That's not his job.
The fuck, bro?
I'm like, Al, dude, he was like 13 yards out.
Dude, you're a midfielder. You're a center mid. Your job is to contribute with goals here and there. When you have a fucking breakaway, anyone besides a center back, your job's to score. And if you don't score, you're coward. But fullback gets in on a breakaway. All the positions except the center backs and the goalie, everyone else, dude, it's hate on you if you don't score. If fucking Chris Smalling breaks out there and doesn't score a goal, Lovren breaks out, Koscielny breaks out, like, okay, that happens. He's a center back. But any other position, Sissoko was cowish, man. And there were many more other opportunities too, where Spurs weren't necessarily testing Alisson, so like it wasn't shots on target. But shots just missing over or just missing that last pass or just that last through ball getting intercepted. Like Liverpool did that whole bend but don't break. And this was what was scary about this game is that this was a championship run kind of game. When you're scrapping like this and you're against the wall basically for 20, 30 minutes in the second half, Liverpool was basically against the ropes, maybe not positionally, but as far as chances created. And they didn't break. They bent. They folded in all kinds of positions. And when it mattered, the gods rewarded them with an own goal.
And this is why I detest your fuck Salah point in terms of, oh, he hit it with a soft header. Look, last year Salah was scoring goals and own goal type goals where things were just going the right way. He was getting the bounce. The bounce was with him. This year it seems to be the opposite, at least while he's been on this drought, right? And you still look at his numbers. He has fallen off, but he's been.
No, he has. So, look, he has fallen. He has fallen off, man.
He's cold. No, but I'm looking. You look at his overall numbers. He was on a certain pace,
and he's not anymore. He's fallen off the pace.
And now he's gotten cold. By fall off, I mean like went fraud mode, where you're like, all right, this dude can't play. He didn't do that.
He's suspect for me. He's suspect for me.
To me, he's no suspect. We know he's a quality player.
No, I mean like as far as the echelon.
And that's what I think it is. People are making a bigger deal of it.
No, look, it could be.
We see he can still dribble. He can still get in the right areas. Just not putting the ball in the back of the net. And I think this goal really does do him. Not only this could be one of the most important goals in the Liverpool run if they end up winning it, bro. Because if he his confidence is able to be reignited from the goal. And he's able to start knocking them in. Like,
we've been saying that for 11 games. We've been saying that for 11 games. Oh, if he does this, if he does that. Like, look, I'm not sitting here saying Salah sucks.
Big of an impact in such a moment at Anfield. I mean, 90th minute winner.
Again, that's what I'm saying. Like, everyone's romanticizing it. Like, yes, he was involved in the play. But for me, he did the same exact thing he's been doing the last 11 games. He had a great opportunity and he fucked it up. Now, he got bailed out. So, yes, for Liverpool Football Club, and he'll also try to glom some credit on that opportunity. But when you look at it, it was the same exact Salah we've seen for the last 11 games.
But how many times that happened last year? I agree that he wasn't like on.
No, not last year, Tom. I'm talking.
How many times happened last year where you get like that lucky?
Yeah, but like United finished second. United finished second last year. Like I understand what you're saying. Last year, yes, he would have scored that.
Salah won what? Didn't he win Player of the Year last year?
Agreed, man. 100% agreed, bro. What I'm saying is, what the Salah we saw in today's game was the same old Salah we've seen the last 11 games where he's had one goal.
I agree with that, but I'm saying, do you think that this goal will help boost his confidence and propel him to the Salah we saw last year? No, I don't. I think he's got goals in his game. He'll score some goals, but he's not going to go on. So how many games are left? 5 or 6 games for Liverpool? Is a 6 games. I say he'll score 3 in those 6. And that's not the Salah we've come to know. I think Mane will get 4 or 5. The Salah, I think we'll get 3. Look, if he's
there's nothing wrong with that.
Games, that's better than what he's been doing for the last 2 months.
Oh, of course. But that's the issue with even Lukaku. We say like these gaps, these drought gaps, it drops you as far as the conversation we're having. We're talking about Salah breaking into top 5 in the world. Now it's back to like, okay, he's a top 10 player, but he's back to reality where like he can take 11-game droughts. He's still a baller.
For me, if you were questioning the fact that he was top 10, then I put him on the suspect list. It's just a matter of form. He's cold.
And right now with his form, that's one thing that all Liverpool fans need to be optimistic about, that they're still grinding out wins like this without Salah being the Salah that we've known from the last.
Robin's back to his deputy role in Batman, a.k.a. Sadio Mane's coming into the fold, bro.
We didn't mention Firmino.
That was a great goal. Andy Robertson is sick, bro. You guys are so lucky to have that quality of a left back, especially in terms of his offense. Bro, he's too good for Liverpool, bro.
No, he's not too good for him. But just remember Hull City. It was Robertson and Maguire both sold.
His peak delivery is like better than Marcelo's, bro. Don't at me, bro. He's bro. On a pin to freaking Firmino.
Robertson's crossing is pretty nice.
Talking about this dude has 2 good years, and all of a sudden that fucking erases 10 years at Real Madrid. Fuck out of here with your bullshits now.
I said, bro, you're talking about it like I'm questioning their overall play and all this stuff. I'm saying his delivery as a left back when it's at its best. Yeah, bro, it literally landed on Firmino's head. Like he didn't even have to jump if he didn't want to.
That with Ronaldo and Benzema. And
it's Ronaldo. It's Ronaldo.
Oh, yeah, but how does the ball get there? All he has to do is nod it in. Come on, man.
Maybe I'm gassing Robertson, bro, but that was a picture perfect cross, bro. Like you know when people like pick that out when they're saying that in commentary, like that's the
you even saw him locate Firmino and put it on. I think he might be the best.
He is the best
crossing fullback in the Prem. Easy.
Yeah, it's a joke, bro. It's
Firmino
literally a joke.
Doing his thing, Firmino, the man. So underrated.
Dude, so this is exactly, Huss. This is the type of game that if you're not watching Firmino specifically to see his contribution and not just the goal, but if you watch the first half, Liverpool bossed it because Firmino was playing that Trequarista role that I always talk about, where he is a number 9, but he'll drop into midfield to 1, create an overload, and 2, to stop pulling strings. He did that the entire first half. Spurs came out in a 3-5-2 that turned into a 5-3-2 or 5-4-1 that was 2 stretched out. So Liverpool were +1, and at times when Firmino dropped in, they were +2 in the midfield. So they absolutely dominated the first half. Props to Pochettino for making an adjustment in the second half, but by that time it was basically too late.
That made me reminded me of something, Tiki.
Yep.
You said that's a great switch by Pochettino. Now, he's suspended. Why is it that he's able to call his assistants and still make changes? That should be outlawed. Because if you're suspended, you shouldn't have any communication with the team.
That's been happening for a while, though. Like we saw with Jose when he was banned.
That's what I'm saying. With technology nowadays, there should not be any communication with the team. That should be disallowed.
I don't know, man. I think that's just such a mute point to the fact that, like Jose, when he was suspended for 2 games for us, he was passing notes along to Rui Faria.
I don't like that either.
Like we've been seeing, I just don't think it's enough of a point to like really put any like emphasis on it. I mean, like maybe it's a valid point. Maybe I don't really think much of it, but it's just like at the end of the day.
Most times, Snacks, sorry, man, to cut you off. Most times, like we see it, a third party must be involved, right? Like
someone running up and down. Yeah.
And then, like a carrier pigeon, they run down the flight of steps.
I don't like that either.
They deliver the message, and then they fly back up the flight of steps. What I saw was Pochettino on his cell phone. One person picks up the cell phone. He's like, hey, give the phone to Jimmy. He gives the phone to Jimmy. He tells Jimmy exactly what he wants, and he hangs up. Now,
he literally called the sub. He was like, hey, do the sub now.
Like, for real. So we'll see what the FA has to say about it.
I've
seen it, like Diego Simeone in the Champions League.
Passing the note.
I've seen him communicating with people directly. You know what I mean? So I think it may be one of those like FA rules.
Look, I think if he's on his cell phone, he knows he's going to be caught. And there's a cell phone down at the coach's level too, which usually you never see technology down there. I think he looked into the rules, and I think the old rule was you're not allowed any communication, but I think they've relaxed it to the point where, like, I didn't know it was such a factor, dude. But like every time a coach is suspended from the sideline, the fucking team struggles, bro. Yeah, and I don't get it. These are grown ass men. Just fucking play. No. All I'm saying is like the coach is still there relaying messages like, hey, Billy, make a run this way. Hey, Bob, make it. No, but it's literally instantaneous on a cell phone. It's different. But like, are these guys so weak-minded? No, I know. But I'm saying, are these players so...
You're sleeping on the presence on the touchline. I get your point. They're grown-ass men. They're pros. Go out there. When Ferguson is waving his hand, he's about
to... No. We're talking Pochettino. Not
Fergie. Look, I'm just saying. There's certain man.
He's got no silverware, bro. Don't disrespect Fergie. He's got no silverware.
I think he's just using him as an example. I don't think he's disrespecting him.
Let's use Wenger as the example. That's their Wenger.
Okay, fine then. He's their Wenger. Fine.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect.
He's their Pep. Whatever you want to go with. When he's about to step on the pitch out of his technical area.
It's the delivery of the message.
What I say? I say this is Spurs showing their weak fucking mind. This is it. This is Spurs just being weak.
No, but it's everybody though. Like
United pulled it off. Even
when Jose was suspended. No, when we had Jose, I'm pretty sure we ended up losing that game, bro. It's just the delivery of the message, bro. I'm telling you, bro. If Vegeta or All Might's coming up to me, telling me go to the gym, work out, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to the gym and working out. If my mom tells me to go to the gym, I ain't going to the gym.
Yeah.
It's just the delivery of the message.
Athletic trainer.
Yeah, but again, there shouldn't be any communication. You're suspended. That means you get out of here.
Speaking of, while we're on the topic of managers, let's talk about this clown Klopp. I know he snuck the victory out way today, bro. Man. This guy needs to give up on Divock Origi, bro. And Divock Origi needs to give up as a footballer, bro. Like
Jesus.
Shaqiri should have.
Once Zaha leaves.
Yeah. Okay. Word. Sick Al. He's gonna be the new Batman, bro.
You know who Divock Origi is? Remember when Danny Welbeck was on United? He's kind of like that guy. He's an energy guy.
There's no energy from Divock, bro. There's no energy. Divock is a C. He's a C plus player. If Liverpool, like if we're talking, if you're quick to say, yo, Jones needs to get the fuck out, Divock needs to go, bro. Be consistent in your shit. Divock needs to go. They could bring in a younger player, more exciting player in that position to where he'll still get his squeaky bum time, but he won't start and he won't be a threat and won't upset everyone.
Like Shaqiri's not playing because of Divock Origi, bro. Like that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
Okay, so
Origi's bad.
Divock Origi's 23 years old. So how much younger do you want to go?
No, I mean, I'm talking, it's not even just age. I'm just talking a younger guy with a higher spike in potential. That's all.
Ben Woodburn.
Potential.
Ben Woodburn, better prospect than Origi. Rian Brewster, better prospect than Origi. These are all prospects at Liverpool, bro, that are better than Origi, bro. And they all can play on that left wing or up top or whatever. It's whack, bro.
Look, man, Divock Origi is a dude who was sent on loan last year, right to Germany. Played decent. You know, he did not play well. He didn't blow off any socks, but he played decent. You know
did not play well, bro.
At Liverpool. He's 23 years old. I don't think he's a dude you give up on yet.
Brother, we've been saying Phil Jones to leave. Like there have been some United fans who have been calling for Phil Jones to leave since Van Gaal came in. That was 5 years ago. 5 years ago, Phil Jones was 20. No, we're not talking about you now. I'm just comparing the situation. I'm just like, there comes a point, bro, where there's that point of no return. Like when you see a player, this is what you're going to.
How long has Phil Jones been at United and been like given an opportunity to establish himself?
I'll put it this way.
A lot.
Divock has.
I'll put it this way. Tom,
pump the brakes.
So many times people talked about City winning the quadruple, and then Pep comes out, oh, we don't have the roster for the quadruple. Think about City's roster versus Liverpool's roster.
Thank you, bro. Where would Divock belong on Man City? Where would he come in? For who? Thank you.
Why y'all taking it to?
Because that's who they're competing with, Tom. Every position, you use the same. I'm literally using your same logic that every position, if you're fighting for the title, needs to be challenged. You know what I mean? And Divock doesn't belong in that Liverpool squad.
Send him to Bournemouth too.
Budgets, number one.
No, I'm talking about two different teams. If you literally pulled up any player from City and put him on Liverpool, most of them would go in. And Liverpool, the same thing. They're starting 11. Most of them would go in. After the starting level, it starts to buckle because you got guys like Divock who you hoping to get you a goal. Who's just fucking mediocre.
But why does it start to buckle? Because of money.
Because of the choices made.
Manchester City can afford to have Bernardo Silva coming off the bench.
We're not talking Bernardo.
They're not there yet.
We're talking Foden. We're talking Foden. No, I'm talking Foden here. I'm talking Foden. Omar.
Okay, well,
Zinchenko.
Origi is not in the Foden.
Sell Origi. Sell Origi. Free up that money. No, he's not a youth player. Free up that money and get someone better than Origi. Please, just get someone better.
And instead add you already got rid of Solanke. Get rid of Danny Sturridge is what I'm saying. An older guy who's injured.
Get rid of both of them. Great call. 2-for-1 special. Get rid of both of them, bro. For the price of one. For the price of one.
Divock Origi, man. Pulling the plug, and he's a dude who could be in there for a little bit more depth. He's a versatile player.
Liverpool should put Origi and Sturridge on the sidewalk with the sign that says free.
Thank you. Put him on Craigslist, bro.
Slightly used, bro. Slightly used.
They're fucking useless, dude. Put him on the sidewalk. Oh, it's fucking great. Yo, Cardiff, let's get into this fucking sorry, not Cardiff. Let's get into City real quick. Fulham City, but let's wrap up this let's wrap up the Spurs Liverpool game real quick.
Okay, so the big prediction that I have right now is that both teams are going to win out except for one game. And United is going to win Liverpool the league.
Hold on, pause. Before anyone says anything, pause. This is the first time Huss has ever admitted on the show, cap this moment, whatever time second we're at, this is the first time Huss has ever admitted on the show that Liverpool will win the league. That is mind-blowing.
Jinxed him, Huss.
He's buying in.
Huss is there, bro. He's past the echelon. He's there. He's gone over the hill, bro.
No more calm, composed Huss. Huss, you're all in.
The point of no return.
Now that we're talking about it, I kind of want to take it back. Because I totally forgot I've never said that.
Yes, a fucking grapefruit, bro. Let the grapefruit flow.
Damn it.
All right, let's keep this moving, man. Fulham 0, Man City 2. Man City obviously played before Liverpool, so pressure was on Liverpool this weekend, and they came through in the clutch. But Man City, as always, chugging along here. They went 2-0, which I think was a bit of a light score considering the chances they had. But
bro, everybody in their starting 11 had at least one shot. Every single player.
It's unbelievable, dude. This team is stupid. It's
literally, oh man, it's a football manager player's dream, bro. Like, it's wild.
Yeah, man. And De Bruyne, back from injury, slowly being bled in. Unfortunately for him, it doesn't look like he's going to have a ball in season. He's running out of time. So maybe for the rest of the season, just focus on fitness, getting those reps in. But had a solid game overall. But Bernardo Silva, this fucking dude, man. I'll never forget when Pep came out in the media, like early days, like a few months into Bernardo being at the club, and everyone was like, Bernardo who? Why? And he was like, I'll leave this club before I sell Bernardo Silva. And this season has been a revelation for this guy. You see him for Portugal. His tail is higher up now. He's more confident. He's almost becoming that Robin to CR7's Batman. But for this Man City club, he's becoming Batman in certain situations. He's taking the team and putting it on his back. Scores 5 minutes in.
You know what? The big thing about Bernardo Silva is that he's a very efficient winger who doesn't have top-end speed. And that's very rare to see nowadays.
Yep.
Yeah,
I thought you were going to keep going.
No, I just thrown it out there to see if you guys want to bite on that one. Because if you look at even Sterling, Sane, Mane, so I mean, if you want me to keep going, I will. We got Mora, then we got Son, and then
I agree with that point completely. He doesn't waste. The problem with those pacey wingers, and like even Raheem Sterling at some point, it doesn't happen as much as it used to with Raheem. But like they'll waste possessions at some points. They'll be trying to go on the run, lose it. Bernardo Silva, he never like lets possession go to waste. Like even if it's a small pass, like he's thinking like 3 steps ahead of like what he wants the team to do. And that's like Pep's influence. Like we saw Bernardo Silva at AS Monaco when they won the league, and he was one of those golden boy generation players for them. He was one of the players that left as well. And like we've seen his quality, but maybe not as consistent. Last season, you give him the old Premier League blues. Other people were balling.
And he was solid. He was solid last season, but go ahead.
Yeah, Sane, I mean, like, and he was competing with Raheem Sterling and Sane. Like, he wasn't really going to get in too easily. This season, he's just taken his spot and just hasn't let go. And that's, like, again, something we don't see a lot this day and age. Like this team is so consistent where, like, that Raheem's going to start every game.
Dude, he's the reason Sane's not getting any joy this year. I mean, Sterling's obviously killing it, but Sane's not getting as much production as Silva. And it's unfortunate because when you see Sane play, he's balling, he's out of control. But, like, you can tell he's not playing because there's that little thing that Pep wants that, for whatever reason, Sane's not giving to him, and Bernardo Silva and Mahrez are.
There's always that third or, like, fourth factor guy, right? So, like, for Arsenal, obviously it was Henry, right? Best player, Dennis Bergkamp in there. And then you had Perez. But then you had Sylvian Wiltord.
And Overmars.
Like, fourth, like, odd guy. So, like, that to me is, like, where Bernardo Silva fits. We know Aguero, Raheem Sterling, KDB when he's healthy, or David Silva. Take your pick. But Bernardo, like Sane was last year, is sort of that new factor that's adding in goals. And although he won't be the main reason Manchester City win, if they do, he'll be sort of that maybe X factor in that regard, that he may tip the scale when it comes down to it.
He is one of the main reasons, in my opinion. He is one of the main reasons. Like, you look at Well, I mean, like obviously you have players like Aguero and Sterling, like they're like getting all the glory, they're getting all the goals. But
that's
like
what we do. That's what we do with those players. We just brush them over. Don't do that.
no. I'm not. That's okay. That's the point. I'm trying to. That's the point. That's the point I'm trying to argue. What I'm saying is, I would argue it's because of Bernardo Silva's play that those type of players are excelling. It's because he's keeping the play going.
What?
What was that, bro? No, it's
so
because, bro, it's because Bernardo Silva keeps the game going like a midfielder at the wing.
You know what it is? You know what it is for me, man?
And Bernardo Silva wasn't doing that.
What was that?
No, look, I think
last year Bernardo Silva wasn't doing that. So
look,
I'm talking about this year. I'm not. Go ahead, Tiki. Go ahead.
Sorry, man. I was gonna say for Bernardo Silva, basically Snacks is saying for him and for me, it's more than he's having a good year. Like he's starting to establish himself. As for me, maybe even that third guy. If De Bruyne can ever find himself, he'll take back his third place throne. This year, I think the third place has been David Silva. It's been, Aguero, obviously, Sterling, and then probably David Silva. And Bernardo, for me, is pushing for that Silva spot. When Silva's already, 32 years old now, he's phasing out. I think Bernardo is going to end up taking that position. We talk about size in midfield. Silva and Bernardo are the same size, and I think Bernardo has a little bit more pace than David Silva. He also has better finishing and can cut in and hit those shirlers. So I think we're seeing this guy grow into that third spot, and it's more than just he had a good season this year. Now Snacks, of course, went over the edge and started saying Sterling and Aguero are playing good because of Bernardo. It's just a bit of a stretch.
It's a point. I mean, like, bro, when your whole team is playing good, when your whole team is like, we talk about like when Pogba for United plays, Pogba when he plays well, everybody plays well. I don't see it being crazy that like when Bernardo Silva plays well, like there's some games that City wins and we overlook the point. They can play awful and win a game, like, and that happens.
They have Aguero.
I'm about to say, like, bro, you can big someone up without like being like, oh my God, this dude's the great, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I understand that. I just don't want people to like. I just feel like people forget how good Bernardo Silva is because he's like every time I watch him, I feel like my jaw drops. Like, I don't know. That's just me personally.
Well, no, yeah. I'll say this. I mean, my jaw wouldn't drop with Bernardo Silva. Maybe when I watch Aguero, because we very well might be watching the best striker to ever play in England, or at least EPL. He's that good. If you take Aguero off and you put Jesus on, they're not where they are right now.
Do you see the finish? Like,
all right,
oh my God.
It doesn't make
guys.
sense.
I mean, it doesn't make sense.
Like he like chipped it, but it was like a placement into the side netting.
Guys, going down. Man, that goal was good, but like I feel like the goalie fucking cucked himself up. Like it was a chip from the near post. Like if the goalie literally just stood up straight, it was like gonna hit him in the chest. It's not like it was this.
No, but here's the thing. Here's the thing that you're taking for granted. He shot the ball like that because he saw the goalie was going down. So if the goalie had stood up straight, he would have went low. That's the quality in Aguero. That's where you have
no.
Goalie's body language. Now, could the goalie made it tougher? No doubt. But the ability to adapt like that on the fly in the near post, that was probably the best place to put it, and that wasn't an easy technique to execute.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It definitely wasn't. I guess for me, it's like I've seen Aguero score way better goals than that. People are losing it. So like I know I'm in the minority. Like Bleacher Report was all over it. And I was like, yo, I've seen
what we
like
do to great players, man. We do this all the time with great players. Think about
what you just said.
For granted, because they've done other great.
No. It's not granted. It's just.
We get so used to him, and that's why we say Harry Kane's the best. And I'm like, all right, dude.
Like, no. We don't say we. Don't say we.
I'm just saying people.
All right.
That goal that Aguero scored today.
This dude's been doing it for 10 plus years.
That goal that Aguero scored this weekend, that shows how good he is and shows you how many great goals he's had when that just seems mundane. If that's just like that's a whatever goal. If anyone else scores that,
man, this is props on Aguero. Like, hey man, don't cheapen this Aguero dude. He's fucking way better than that little chip. He's way better than that.
Imagine if that's the goal Salah.
Let's not drop the stand. Hey. No, Salah. Look.
People's heads would have blown up.
For Salah, but not exactly for Salah. Let's blow up for Salah. But for this dude who's been doing it 10 years, quality goal, mate. But man, oh man,
Yeah,
like I
man.
think your standards are so fucking high, Aguero, that everyone's like bringing them down in this one for me. But it was class. Like
we're just acknowledging greatness, man. For me, it's just acknowledging greatness. Even when we're used to seeing it, sometimes it's good to smell the roses, man.
Okay, wow, that's a good point right there. Sergio Rico letting in another 2. Freaking love it. I hate
Are you
that
playing with
guy.
your man bun right now?
Yeah, bro. What's my pony? It's not a bun right now. I actually, you know what? Breaking news. I'm gonna have to cut it off before I start my new job. But that's besides the point. We'll talk about that. PFC after dark.
Let's do that on the show.
Yeah, PFC after dark. Yeah,
You can put on your keys as like a little Lucky Charm.
yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, we'll do that. Anyways, back to
Wrap it around the rabbits,
football.
man.
Back to football.
Good luck.
Listen, man, it's gonna come right down to the wire. Huss was making his prediction, bro. I'm sorry, this Man City team's too good. They're not gonna lose another game. Like they're gonna steamroll us, I think. And like with Liverpool having to play Wolves at the final day, that is such a. And I think it's at Wolves. I think that's at Wolves, whatever the Molino Stadium. Like, bro, that's gonna be such a dodgy game that like.
That's a tough game, dude.
Yeah, like that's like, and I'm pretty sure like I don't know, Man City are so good that like no matter who they play, it's not going to be really a challenge for them. Obviously, we've seen them with the surprise losses, Crystal Palace and Leicester, but I think they're going to buckle down. Pep's been here before; these players have been there before.
So Man City still have to play,
and they have one game in hand.
They play Spurs. They play Tottenham 3 times.
Bro, you see what Spurs did to themselves today, bro? Don't worry, bro. Spurs will just capitulate like they always do in the final minute. Toby Alderweireld will score an own goal. It's fine, bro.
Hey, you're the one wearing the United shirt. Will you guys capitulate too?
I just don't think we're going to beat them. I really don't.
Draw them then. That's all we need.
Nah, I don't.
Liverpool only needs a draw.
They have a game in hand. They have a game in hand. Yeah, they have a game in hand. So it would.
And United will need that for Champions League.
It's an awful position to be in, bro.
Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace plays Manchester City tough. It's weird. I know it's weird, guys. Crystal Palace has been a bogey team. Manchester City as well. They're playing them at Crystal Palace. I know the City team, guys, is stacked, right? They're the odds-on favorite. But when I look at their schedule, I'm seeing some tough games, not to mention they're going for a quadruple. So now we're talking about fatigue. How's he going to rotate his players? Like, this will be interesting to see. If Pep could do some historic shit here with the quad.
Don't forget, Cardiff plays both Liverpool and City.
Huh?
Yeah, Cardiff, bro. Yeah,
Cardiff plays Liverpool and City.
Yeah, they were real sick today, bro. They were real freaking good today, bro.
Yo, that Wolves game is at Anfield, so should be Liverpool TCB.
Oh boy.
But Liverpool play Chelsea. Hopefully Chelsea fighting for top 4 will somehow get a result. Right? Yeah, unfortunately at Anfield. Yep. So that should be TCB again.
Liverpool's got the schedule on the side.
They do. They definitely do.
In Champions League.
That Chelsea game, that's going to be the one just because of even the history with the Stevie G slip and everything.
Oh, dude, I thought Virgil was gonna have himself a little slip today. Gave the ball away a few times, bro. I was like, "Yo, here it comes! Here it comes!"
Did you see how massive Virgil was in net when Trent was going near post on the corner and he hit the post? Virgil's like putting his arms up. He's taking up the whole net.
Yeah, he's a big dude, man. He's a fucking problem. Speaking of big dudes, United 2, Watford 1. Big man Pogba,
come on.
Where you at, bro?
Oh, yeah,
Snacks. What's happening to your mans, bro? What's happening to your mans?
Okay, so in the middle of the international break, Pogba came out and said that it would be a dream to move to Real Madrid. But
fucking dream.
Can I?
Kidding me?
Let me get into my right because this was my guy, right? This was my guy.
Dream.
Here's the thing. Here's my problem with that comment.
United because reality right now.
Yeah, I mean,
nah, it's not that, Huss. It's the audacity.
No. You're already at the biggest club in the world. You've literally had everything you've wanted.
Biggest club in the world.
Spoon-fed to you through a gold spoon, and you're eating diamonds. You literally have everything you've ever wanted at Manchester United that you've been waiting for right there for you. And then you have the audacity to say it's a dream to play for Real Madrid. It was at that moment. Listen. I love Pogba. I still think he's the best center midfielder in the world. I would be lying if I didn't say that. But there was a point in the season we did a show, And Tiki was conveying, he's like, listen, I'll support him while he's at United, but he isn't my guy. He has been downgraded from the guy that I will take bullets for to he's my guy while he's here. When he's gone, peace. Deuces, MKBHD style.
I love it.
Bro.
Welcome to the team, bro.
No, wait, until next week.
No, bro.
Hold
on. No, it's not because I don't. It has nothing to do with his play.
He just he's the best centerman in the world. He still thinks that.
No, it has nothing to do with his play.
Yeah.
He was garbage this game, but even in the games that he's been garbage, I found a way to defend him. That is no more. It is the fact that you can say you can't. No, hold on. You cannot say.
Welcome to reality.
You cannot say that you want to go to Real Madrid when you're already at one of the biggest, if not the biggest clubs in the world.
Already.
No,
He's
and
changed
here's
already.
Stop. That's what we need to stop because you're deluded. Come on, bro. You're not the biggest club in the world.
Wait. How are we defining that? How are we defining that?
In all aspects, as a football club, we are the biggest club in the world.
Yeah. I'm with you, Snacks. Tom, how do you define? What are you disagreeing with? When Snack says the biggest and you say no, you're deluded. What are you disagreeing?
Your current status. That's what.
But you're talking about the pitch, bro.
He has everything he's been waiting for at United. You guys are in a battle for top 4. You
bro, but
that, right?
you look at it earlier this season. No, you're looking right now.
Fix your mic. You're like fading away, bro.
You're looking at right now, but let's go back to the beginning of the season. Didn't want Jose Mourinho at the club. Got Jose Mourinho sacked. He wanted he literally said, I want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to stay. We're all happy under him. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer stays, bro. I want this player to play up top. I want Rashford up top. He gets Rashford up top. It's just like, it's like, what are you, bro? You spoiled little brat, bro? Like, I don't get it. You're a professional footballer.
Now, look, Snaps, this is the thing, man. This is why
earn his shit. Like
no.
Spoon fed.
Exactly. I agree with that point. And it's
disrespectful. Like this dude ain't out here like earning his shit.
Nah,
like, it's 50-50. He earned his way here.
I agree with that. No, I agree with that. But at the same time, bro,
it's the whole arrogance of United fans, which drives me nuts, is you're not who you think you are right now. I know that you guys have a lot of history, but you're not.
Tom,
let me know when, bro. Let me know when you can finish in 5th place and attract Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Paul Pogba to your club, bro. When your club can do that, you can call my club small, bro. But when you can attract Zlatan Ibrahimovic, the greatest striker, one of the greatest strikers of all time, and the most expensive signing in history in that summer, bro. That's ridiculous, bro. And we finished in 5th place, bro. We finished in 6th place. We went out and spent $75 million on a striker. That striker is garbage, but the fact that we can do that just shows how big of a club we are.
And you're a big club, but you're not bigger than Madrid, and that's your delusion. And your current status, how you've been performing, since Fergie's been gone? You've been bad for that long. So for you to act like, oh, Pogba is sitting pretty at Manchester United, things are rocky at Man United. Things are uncertain. You've just hired a manager who really, if you want to balance his CV against all the other managers out there, isn't much. Now, the guy's a player's coach. He's a legend at the club. So we'll see what he does. We respect Ole, but let's not act like Man United is stable. Real Madrid is way more stable.
No, but when I said we're the biggest club in the world, if you factor everything that goes into running a football club, bro, we're bigger than Madrid is. We profit more. Everything that goes into so like if his goal is to go to Real Madrid because I want to play for the biggest club in the world, I don't see that as an argument. I just think, okay, this isn't working for me, and I want to go
because it's more than money, Snacks. And here you go, New Age United fans looking at money. Look at history as well. Look at everything else. What have they done the last 3 years, Real Madrid? And who's came back? Zidane, a French legend.
What have they done this year? Okay, so then let's talk about the right now. What, is Pogba going to go in and fix everything? They're going to win 3 Champions Leagues on the bounce? Get the hell out of here, bro. They were carried by the greatest player of all time, bro. And what happened, bro? The greatest player of all time left. He left, bro.
And United was carried by the greatest manager of all time, and then he left.
Yeah. And what happened? Bollocks.
Stumbles.
Bollocks. You acted like when Real Madrid and Barcelona come knocking, everybody's ear gets turned. Now, whether you're willing to publicly admit it or not, there I'm with you. Now I understand why you don't fuck with him. But for you to act like, oh my God, he should be happy. He should just be.
I mean, hey,
bro,
he's gone. Hey, everything's
delusional. You're not who you think you are right now.
I don't know, bro. I just think the end of the day, bro, if you look at the situation, you see everything that's been happening in recent times, as in the past 3 or 4 months, it shouldn't be a problem. Like, if you think that in your head and you want to do that, by all means, bro, go ahead. I can't tell you how to live your life, but it's like Jose calling out the players in public, bro. Just keep that in the back door. It's like when you air out the dirty laundry, bro.
I agree with that.
That's my That's my beef. So maybe, yeah, sure. Maybe I'm going a little offsides with he should be happy. I don't know how Pogba is, bro. I don't know his life. I don't know what he does. But at the same time, I'm thinking about it. It's like, wow, bro, you came back when we're out of the Champions League.
I feel like you've already had this talk with yourself.
This is what we've been saying, me and Al, for years with this guy. Like, this is who he is. When he's surrounded by great talent, his game elevates. But he's not the kind of guy, so far in his career, he's proven he's not the kind of guy to grab the team for an entire season and be their best player. Be the top 3 player, for sure. Pogba's about that. And technically at United, he's the best player. Like, ability, unlocking defenses, blah, blah, blah. But as far as performances, he's not the best player. And he's always been about Pogba. And there's nothing wrong with that, dude. Some dudes are just about themselves, and that's fine. Like, I love when players are like, yo, fuck the club, I'm counting my money. But I've always seen Pogba that way, dude. I've always seen him that way. And his agent, Ria Manola, is the same. He's the same kind of dude. He moves his players around to get the best deal, gives them the best life. And that's good for Pogba, man. I'll never hate on Pogba wanting to leave United. For me, it just confirmed everything we've been battling about, even with this Jose versus Pogba thing. You know what? Jose leaving ended up being a good thing for United, but it could have easily gone south. And look at United. We've won, 17 games or so, or 14 games out of 17?
15
since
out of 18.
15, yeah, counting this weekend, since Solskjaer took over, and he still comes out and he says he wants to leave. If he said this while Jose was there, can't blame him, dude. Of course, you have to leave. You're not getting along, but you got everything you want.
Exactly, that's my point.
But this is who he is, Snacks. Yeah, this is why I've never banged with Pogba.
Listen. Maybe I was making it seem like I was just calling him out and I was completely turning. Bro, maybe my love for Pogba has changed, but my thoughts of him as a player have not.
Oh, dude, he's still a baller.
He's still a baller. I would rather have them than not have him. I hope he doesn't leave. But at the same time, if he leaves, I'm not going to sob over it. I'm not going to be like, you know what I mean? And before, had we lost him, bro, we're shambles now. What are we supposed to do with our midfield? We have Jose Mourinho managing us. He couldn't get the best out of this guy. Who am I to be thinking that he's going to be getting the best out of another guy that he gets? He's just going to get. But now I look at it, it's like, okay, you know what? He can go. We'll figure it out. Things are good right now as the club.
Thank you, bro. This has been our fundamental difference as United fans. For you, this is your first experience of seeing a major, foundational player at the club leave. I've watched this since David Beckham. It goes throughout all our entire history. I bring up Beckham because he's the class of '92. He was for me the biggest thorn in my heart. The pain you're feeling right now, I felt it for Beckham. It wasn't as personal because Beckham, didn't come out in the media and shit talk and flirt. But when he left the club, I was like, oh, so my loyalty should be with the club because the club's never going to leave me. These players are going to do what the players do. I can't hate on them for that. Some of them I hate more than others, but this, I'm glad you're experiencing this, dude. When there's a beef, there is a time to side with the player, and I'll never blame you for siding with Pogba over Jose. That's just a difference of opinion. It doesn't mean you always side with the club, but when you're seeing a world-class player like Pogba, who's arguably going to be battling for the Ballon d'Or if he can put together a couple of seasons, when you see him in our darkest hour not track back, not run, not do the defensive job, give up the ball in midfield and not work back. He even did it in this fucking game. Give up the ball in midfield and throw his hands in the air. That's the type of play. You never want to back those kind of guys because they're the guys who are there when times are good. But when times are bad, those are the guys who are fucking hiding, calling you out. And Pogba, by the way, I say it again, man, because my hate of Pogba is very specific. Pogba is one of the best players in the world. And as long as he's wearing that red jersey, I feel good about seeing him in the starting lineup. I always feel before a game, I'm like, hey, man, at least we got Pogba. So worst comes to worst, he'll pull something out. Now, lately, he's not doing that. But it still feels good to have him in the squad because I think he does way more good than bad. But as far as buying his jersey, he'll never see my money.
Yeah, it's and I think that's kind of where I'm at right now. It's like I said, I'm on that level. It's listen, as long as he's here, I'm gonna enjoy the good times. I'm gonna let it roll.
Are you tired of listening to this?
Thank you.
I feel like I'm at an intervention,
man.
Legitimately, I really thought this was a legitimate intervention.
No, you know why? You know why?
Right,
Because this is Tom, this finally encompasses a what was it like a whole season battle. We've been battling like this since September. He did, bro. And I'm trying to pat his back, like, hey man, there's a lot of fish out there, bro.
You know what it is? You know what it is? It's like playing in a final and like when you're in like U12s or whatever, and then the team that wins gets like the big trophies, and then you get the participation trophy. You participated, bro. You did okay. Here's your trophy. That's all
that
it
has nothing to do with trophies. This sounds like your heart just got broken in the middle.
Yeah, bro.
It's just me.
You guys didn't even deserve to win this.
He said he loved you.
It sucks, man.
Really
I love Pogba so much. He's one of my favorite players. Like I've spent money on his jersey, bro. Like I have a lot of jerseys, but they're for players I genuinely like that.
Are you gonna burn it? Are you gonna burn it?
We'll do a live PFC. We'll do a live PFC. This is if he leaves. We don't know yet, man. Maybe he'll come out a week from now and say, yeah, like.
Now look,
things out of context.
To wrap this up, man, Pogba I don't think is leaving this summer. I think the project is still too open. If he does leave, so be it. Zidane came out and said, yeah, when he's done at Man United, why wouldn't we want to have him at Real Madrid? Very succinct political way of basically saying, Pogba, whenever you want to come. And that's fine. I don't think he leaves this season, but let's keep it moving. We don't want to make it too much United. But real quick with the goal, Luke Shaw, brilliant ball through to Rashford. Rashford finally showing a different way of finishing, man. It's not just a rock hard Vardy shot. Here he gives him a little bit of a deft chip over Ben Foster. Ben Foster. Great finish by him, man.
So people can see it.
Bro, Rashford's so good, man. I fucking love Rashford. I love him so much.
Until he leaves, and we have to talk all over again.
I know. Luke Shaw. Like, let's talk about that goal for a second, because that was quality left back play. He wins the ball. Starts to counter himself. Inch perfect pass. Not as good as Andy Robertson's, won't lie, but it was still perfect. Rashford takes a touch, and instead of going for power, he goes for precision. Taps it in, bobbles it over Ben Foster. Bottom corner celebration.
Dude, and Tom made a great point. We did not deserve to fucking win this. Plain and simple, we did not deserve to win it.
You might have been even lucky to get a point out of this.
Agreed.
Agreed. And look, Watford, they wasted a lot of chances. Let's be honest.
For real.
They wasted.
They
Who's the guy with the blonde hair there? Was that Hughes?
Will Hughes, yeah.
Oh my God! Enough with that guy. That guy sucks.
Yeah.
No, he's one of the better players.
He was good in this game. He was good. He was wasteful, but he was good.
I don't like him.
But in this game, we were talking about it in the group chat, and I was telling Al, I said, like, it's good that like we can play this bad and still like whip out a result, because that second goal was just disgusting. Like scrap in the box. I'm pretty sure Martial was offsides when the pass was played.
He was.
Puts it in the back of the net. We'll take
Classic Chelsea.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what I mean? And then Al came back at me, and he was just like, I don't know if that was our worst performance. Like, the defense played solidly. But I'm like, bro, it's been so good under Solskjaer that, like...
Go ahead. Finish, my bad.
Yeah, it's been so good under Solskjaer that, like, it's, like, weird to see these kind of games. Even when we've lost. Like, when we lost against Arsenal, we played really well in that second half, other than the penalty.
When
we lost I'm not speaking that club's name. I came at you in the debate, bro. I apologize for that. I didn't mean to come for you. I didn't mean to come for you like that, bro. It was just emotional.
I don't apologize, and I will come for you like that every single time. No, I'm just kidding, man.
You know what? I was gonna buy you some of the condoms for the controller. Now I'm not buying them for you. I
got plenty condoms for straight. Dude, no. Who I want to big up is Phil Jones. Phil Jones had a good game. Like, you gotta keep it real. He had a great game. He had that dogged defending. He was kind of first to the ball, you know what I mean? So in an almost like weird way, like, even though like you guys didn't deserve this performance here, look, man, I'm gonna give credit when I see someone play well, and I thought Phil Jones he was all right.
Who sent that quote to our group with the quote about Phil Jones? Who sent that? Of why Varane didn't sign with United?
Oh, that was me. Yeah.
It's hysterical.
So yeah, back in 2011,
when Varane is a patriot.
When back in 2011, if you don't know, when we signed Phil Jones, we were actually linked with Varane, and we ended up signing Phil Jones. And when they asked Varane, who went to Real Madrid that year, why we didn't sign him, he goes, "No, I wanted the move, but they signed Phil Jones, so it wasn't on the cards." And I was just like, "Well, fuck, man? Like,
yeah, that's who you got. Nah, you got. He's nice. He was nice against Watford though. Like he was nice.
yeah, it's
Against
just it's the same old. It's the same thing though. He'll have a good game, but there's always a mistake in him. It's like there's just no consistency with the guy. Like you just know, like there's a performance in him that he'll just put up a 2 out of 10, bro. Like it's just. It's not
Speaking of performances, there, Decore, he was talking about going to Champions League teams next year. Has he earned the right to be on a Champions League team next year with how he played for Watford this year?
He's earned his right to be on Spurs. He's earned his way to be on Spurs.
That's it.
And that is because Musa Sissoko is Spurs' center defensive midfielder. That's it. Like he might fit at Arsenal.
He could come in.
Arsenal.
Go ahead. Sorry, Snacks.
Yeah, he might fit at Arsenal, but he's not getting into Chelsea's. Not getting into Chelsea's midfield. Not getting into City's. Like it's not happening for him.
In 2 years, maybe Liverpool's.
Yeah, maybe. Look, he's one of those Yaya Toure type midfielders where like he's a bomber. If you just let him play that box to box kind of guy, he's a dogged guy. He works. He gets forward. You saw him score the goal today. So like, I think I'm with Snacks. The only Champions League team I see him on is Spurs, assuming Spurs finishes top 4. But other than that, I don't think he's there yet. In 2 years, ask me again, and my answer might be different. But as it stands today, Spurs is the top for him. I think it'd be better if he goes to like Everton or West Ham, like that next step. Although this year Watford's obviously above him, so it doesn't make sense. But you guys will see over the next 3 seasons, things are going to correct. Everton will get back to that Watford position right now, playing for Europa, I think, and West Ham as well. So he's fine where he is. To be honest, like just stay where you are. There's no need to really make that slightly higher move unless you're going to go to Tottenham. That's the only place you should leave.
Old right now. So if he goes to like Everton or something like that, I feel like that he has one.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
One more chance.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't think he goes. I think he does hold up for that top 4 team. And look, I feel better Decore coming off the bench than I do Origi, even at a winger position. Fuck that. No, Decore.
This doesn't make sense, man. Why you gotta go all out your limb? This shit
on Origi, man.
Tom just loves his Belgian beta forwards. He loves Batshuayi, Belgian.
He likes Lukaku, Belgian.
Lukaku, Belgian. Beta fucking Belgian forward. Tom's a beta Belgian.
All of the special, right?
Just call Lukaku a beta forward, bro. I'm keeping that.
All right, man. Let's get off this United shit. United won, got the 3 points. Probably didn't deserve it. What do you got, Snacks? Real quick.
You're going to Solskjaer this week. Permanent manager, obviously. Everybody's pretty much heard of it.
Yeah, great response.
I wanted to get. I know, obviously, us two. We've talked about it in depth, me and you, Tiki. But I want to get thoughts from Tom and Huss because they're opposing teams. So I want to know how they feel about it. Because, maybe maybe it'll be different than the way we. Obviously, it's going to be different.
How do the two Judases feel?
Judas would imply that I initially had loyalty.
You did, yeah, you did. Deep down, you love Fergie, bro.
Nah, bro. If I catch him in a dark alley, his hips getting broken.
In a way, I'm almost worried for United that this is fool's gold right now. Because look, they played well, they had the manager bounce, but even in the Watford game, yeah, you won, but there were definitely times where it's like, are they really going? And then also, let's put it this way: if De Gea does leave, if Pogba does leave, and you go another year or 2 years or 3 years without a league, are you still getting those top end players like a Pogba and De Gea coming in, or are you taking them next year down, which it's going to be a slippery slope? So right now,
slippery slope. Was that the grapefruit, bro? Slippity slope.
I tried to hold back as I said, I was like, no. But look, it's a risk. This is definitely a risk because we've always talked about top end clubs signing top end 100% managers that you can count on, which you did with Jose, which actually backfired. So they're almost taking a 180 right now and signing a younger guy who's with the club for a while and he's doing magical things. It's just, how long will that magic keep up?
That's a good question, Tom.
Look, man, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's reign at Manchester United is dependent upon one factor right now. That is qualifying for the Champions League.
Top 4, man. Top 4.
If Manchester United qualify for the Champions League, watch out. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has reinstilled a spirit. He's reinstilled a Manchester United identity. Now, in terms of performance on the pitch, we haven't seen that because we've seen you guys in your losses kind of revert to the slow malaise under the Jose Mourinho days. If Manchester United qualify for the Champions League, they will spend, I'm sure, over 250 million in the summer and identify the correct players that will propel them. If they do not, Solskjaer will be in for it because players, I believe, will be quick to turn on him when things start going the wrong way.
Cool, man. All right, that wraps up United talk. Let's get into Cardiff 1, Chelsea 2. If you're a gambler and you had your money on Cardiff, I think you have every right to go find this ref, dude, and have a little chit-chat with him because this was the biggest blown game I have ever seen, man. Cardiff up 1-0, cruising, doing that whole bend but don't break thing that lower league teams do. Chelsea and all of a sudden the ref decides to fucking bail Chelsea out. What the fuck?
You wanted to be the star. You wanted to be the star of the show, man. And it was the offsides goal.
That's what started it, dude. That's what started the whole thing.
Stevie Warnock's going mad because he knows.
Neil.
Aspilicueta was offsides. It was one of those tricky ones to catch because he was returning from an offsides position. I believe it was off a corner kick.
He was offside.
It was a corner kick, then flicked, and then he was offside on the flick. Like both him and Giroud, two fucking guys with 2 yards off. And Neil Warnock the whole time was like, yo, two whole yards, yelling at Sarri as well. I don't know why Sarri's trying to calm him down. Just let the dude throw a tire, and it has nothing to do with Sarri. But Aspilicueta, man, 84th fucking minute. Guess who gets the assist? Fucking Marcus Bomlonzo, bro. I was so fucking pissed. It's absolutely unacceptable this level, dude. Dude, I don't know, man.
That's what he does, though, man. His delivery, like DiGiorno, man.
It wasn't delivery. It was a flick. A lucky bitch.
You know what I mean? That's part of the delivery, man. Sometimes he gets dimes. He's good around the attacking area, man. And Loftus-Cheek, for me, is the guy who should have had a chance. But we know it's Chelsea. They hate their youth players. They're killing in the youth game. They'll win English FA Cups. But when it comes to playing, Hudson-Odoi, who else you want to mention? All these guys who have left. He comes on, he scores the winning goal. It was beast of a header, powers through the defender. But to me, now it has to be Jorginho, Kanté, Loftus-Cheek in the middle.
Dude, even without fucking Jorginho, put Kanté in Jorginho's position. Kanté has shown that he's got some feet. He's playing him at that number 8 position all year, which means he has to move the ball a little bit more higher up the field, more pressure. The spaces are tighter, and he's doing a decent job. He obviously doesn't have the finishing side or the goal side, but as far as passing, he doesn't misplace too many passes. He's clearly not a number 8. Like, he's doing the job, but he's doing a 7 out of 10 when he could be doing a 9.5, 10 out of 10 at that number 6 position. I understand fucking Sarri wants that guy to basically lay it off sideways. Jorginho, king of the sideways passes. I think Kanté can do that.
Kanté can't do that? Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Kanté can do that. So now you have Kanté in there. And then in the other 2 center mid positions, you can finally give that Loftus-Cheek Barkley look or Loftus-Cheek Kovacic look. I don't think Kovacic and Barkley should play at the same time. I think they both bring similar stuff. Obviously, Barkley's a bit more.
Sarri's prejudged a player. He's taken a look at a player.
Yes.
And whether it was through not blind prejudice, but observed him on film and watched him and be like, all right, this guy cannot deliver what I want. So within the same year he transfers to the club, Jorginho comes in. And he who was the centerpiece of what he did at Napoli. So again, it's not a blind prejudice of, I don't want people to think that like I'm just going like straight up race here, like, because he's no.
I think it's more so to do with that. I think it has everything to do with loyalty. Is that he probably talked to Jorginho and said, "Hey, follow me to Chelsea, and you got your position. We're going to do the same thing we did up in Napoli. Look, you got everything the same. And now, if you take his guy, his number one guy, and you put him to a new position, your number one guy now might be a little bit upset, might want to leave.
But Huss, here's my thing. Now, why would you do that when there's a player who plays the same position as your guy who's better?
Or guys, or just fucking rotate. Jorginho literally doesn't get rested. He gets rested once in a while.
Because Kante's that good. So you can't just be like, all right, Conte, don't start.
No, but Tom,
now, who's your cleanup man? Like he's so good that he has to start, but he's playing him out of position.
Yeah, but like
so
even
he's basically favoring Jorginho.
But Tom, it's gone to the point where he'd rather rest Conte than rotate Jorginho out. You know what I mean? Like, I agree with you. Conte should start every game, but clearly he doesn't think Conte should start every game, including this game that just passed. So what's his excuse on Jorginho? Why is he starting every game if you're saying Conte can't start? And I think to Huss's point, it is just favoritism. This is my guy. I brought this guy in. I'm going to make it work.
No
just
doubt.
stubborn Italian. He decides to rest Hazard, which is fine because Hazard's clearly wagging his tail at Real Madrid. I think that was a bit more of a slap on the wrist for Hazard versus rest, blah, 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 all that bullshit because they need Hazard to start the rest of the season. Instead of starting Hudson fucking Odoi, bro. He's been caught. Like Hudson right now is in the middle of contract negotiations. He said, no, Hudson will get 2 or 3 stars before the end of the season. He'll get some playing time, and I think he should stay because next year we have plans for him. You're playing fucking Cardiff, borderline relegated Cardiff away. Hudson's fresh. You want to rest Hazard for whatever reason. You know, you want to punish Hazard, rest him, whatever. Why not put Hudson Odoi in that position? They're the same type of player, taking on people in the final third. I love Willian. Willian's my boy, but his take on ability has dipped. His production has always sucked at Chelsea. Pedro, hardworking dude, but like
always,
he's not.
I think that's harsh. And
not always, but like look at Luke Whitty. To my attention. Look at his goal count at Chelsea. Tom, it's shocking, bro. I was with you.
Look at his
or assists. Yeah, look at both. Look at both. And I was shocked. Luke Whitty brought this up to me. I was a Willian guy through and through until Luke Whitty printed out a fax, sent it over to my house, and was like, "Yo, you need to look at these numbers." And I was like, "Wow, dude, Willian's been kind of skating, bro. No one brings attention to his lack of production."
Well, I think today is also the wrong day to kind of choose that. I guess overall, if you want to look at it long term, but he did provide the assist. You know what I mean in this game.
Yeah, no doubt.
Between Pedro and Willian, you have to get rid of one of them. It's been my thing.
Exactly.
Pulisic coming in next year. Are you gonna let
go
of Hazard?
It's like they might have to get rid of both of them.
Hazard's leaving, so they might keep both of them, keep Pulisic and Odoi. And unfortunately for Pulisic, become an understudy to Pedro and Willian.
Hazard's leaving so matter-of-factly?
Because I think he's going to force the move this summer. I don't think Chelsea wants to let him go, but I think Hazard, dude, it's been 3 seasons. Every season it's getting more and more obvious. Like Hazard first, you know, like in the old school, like 50s, 60s movies where they show a lady's shoulder or her ankles and that was considered porn. Hazard is to the point now of Jenna Jameson level, bro. He's literally on all fours spreading it for Real Madrid.
He's gangbang level?
Dude, he's ready for the Houston 500 gangbang, bro. He's ready, and he's throwing it out. I think this summer, it's going to be like, enough is enough. I'm getting old. Real Madrid is in a rebuild,
that's
too.
The only way I see him moving, and I was having this argument earlier, is if Hazard forces his way out.
Yeah, he's going to force it. I don't think Chelsea's going to sell him.
Chelsea, why would they want to lose their best player if they can't replace him?
No. I don't think it's up to Chelsea. As far as business, I'm with you, bro. Chelsea's not selling Hazard. As far as Hazard, he's going to cause an issue to get sold, I think.
Well, as of now, it looks like they're missing Champions League. So there's no way that Hazard's going to go those 2 years in a row.
Exactly,
Dude,
man.
They should have dropped points this game, whether it was a tie or a loss.
Agreed.
Points, man. This game, man. Chelsea squeaked by.
Look, if I'm sorry, and Hazard's talking about going around Madrid this whole time, I'm going to use his legs as much as possible. He's going to play 90 minutes every single game, and I'm going to play him until he dies.
Or just play him until, you get the most out of him to help your team. Like, I know what you're saying. I'll just run him into the ground. Sure. Like, that's another way to look at it. But just fucking play him and get what you need from him. Squeeze that last ounce of juice and then let this dude go. And you're going to let him go, not quite in his prime, but still very close to his prime. His ability's still there. His numbers don't quite match a few seasons ago when he got that over 20 goals in a season. 20 goals.
He's 29, bro. Like
man. Now is the time. It's too late. It's not too late.
There's this narrative. There's this narrative for a while with Hazard that it was so funny. It's at the beginning of the season. He needs to go make this move to Real Madrid to fulfill his potential. I'm like, bro, how can you have potential when you're 28 years old, bro? Like, unless you're some god that's just gonna go until you're 40.
I think they mean just like there's. I still feel like Hazard still has a level to reach, and I think if he's at Real Madrid, surrounded by prime A beef we'll see that level, like a Salah type of season.
I think that level is Champions League.
He's 3 years left of that top tier talent that he has.
Yeah, but I think that level is just Champions League, winning the Champions League, and once he does that, then he'll like have fulfilled his potential.
For me, that level is banging 30 goals in all comps.
Remember that year,
whether it's Champions League or not.
Franck Ribéry like went off that year. He ended up like third on the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, man, he got robbed.
That was like in 2014, 2013.
Exactly, Tom. I'm with you. Like just 1 or 2 seasons where like you're shining like a fucking comet, dude. Everyone sees you.
Goals.
Exactly.
Like, oh shit!
And then you're back to like for real. Yeah, and then you're back to your 25, 20 goals, where it's more normal. But like if he goes to Real Madrid,
by the way, speaking of 40 goals, Messi has now dropped over 40 goals for 10 seasons in a row.
That's beast. That's fucking beast.
Hashtag beast mode, bro.
That's absolutely.
That free kick he took was disgusting, bro. He those training ground ones you see on Instagram where people are like you see like freestylers and all that stuff doing it, and they like
F2.
Yeah, bro. It's just
you know what? I'm gonna hate on that free kick for a second, and I don't even want to call it hate. All right, because when I rewatched that, it looked like he was trying to chip it into Sergio Busquets, and then like
it went in.
I don't know what the center back was doing on the line, but. I don't know. It didn't look like he intended to shoot it.
Maybe not. I see what you mean, man. I see what you mean.
That great.
Yeah, you get all the credit.
That shit, bro, the whole time, bro.
No doubt. Yeah, but Chelsea get lucky here, man. Alonso with a shirt pull should have been a PK. Rudiger with that semi breakaway that I don't know how that's not a red, man. I know the contact looked incidental, but Rudiger initiates it. Doesn't make a challenge. I think that's what bails him out. He doesn't make it look like he takes him down, but he runs into his path, hits him from behind because the Camarasa got in front of him, hits him from behind and takes him out. Luckily, the goalie was there too, so there's that argument of was Camarasa going to get there? For me, I think he was, man. I think it was going to be at least a 50-50 with the goalkeeper, and Rudiger prevented that. Exactly. For me, that was a red, man.
The timing of the foul, the way the game played out, also
100%.
played into it too, with the offsides, and then this missed call, and then Chelsea come back to win.
Such bullshit.
It was the perfect storm of shittiness that happened to Cardiff, and it all happened because of the ref.
Hey, Cardiff, shitty happiness, bro.
Yeah, they got robbed of the result. They got robbed of the result.
They did, man. They did. Warnock is gonna lose sleep. Dude, I thought Neil Warnock was gonna have a heart attack. I was genuinely worried, bro.
First off, Neil Warnock like delayed his. He's like, yeah, we need to calm down. Like, I need to personally calm down before I go in there. We need to calm down as a team. And then he went in and he was like, yeah, we're the biggest club in the world, but somehow we have the worst officials. And he goes, I'll never understand it. I won't.
Biggest league, no biggest club.
Oh yeah, biggest league. Yeah, that's my fault. Thank you for the correction.
Yeah, so
you thought you had the biggest club. Now it's Cardiff, the biggest club.
Yo, it's all gonna be sorted out finally next year. This type of shit pisses me off because the rest of the world is using VAR, or the rest of the top leagues are using VAR, and the English are dragging their feet on it, dude. And I'm glad finally next season, at least most of the goals will be legit, and most of the calls will be legit. There'll still be drama, as we've seen with VAR. So it won't be a perfect system, but man, simple things like 2 yards offsides, simple things like literally grabbing someone's arm and tugging him during a set piece. Guys like Chris Smalling, they're going to have to learn how to properly defend set pieces. None of this bear hug shit. I'm glad it's going to be stomped out of the game, man. And I feel bad for Cardiff and I feel worse for United because fucking Chelsea got 3 points.
Well, I mean, Warnock, this is the first time I think in his career he didn't like just scream at people.
Yeah.
And he just stood at the half line, 10 yards away from the refs and just clapped.
That was brilliant. Huh?
Not the ref, clapped at the fan. Everyone knew the point.
He was clapping the ref, but he made it look like the fans, dude. That was some old man, wise man shit, dude. I
getting suspended.
Yeah, he didn't pull the Pochettino, go yell in his face, or at least in public. Who knows when he met him in the dressing room after the referee dressing room.
He's like, "You gonna die today."
Yeah, man.
Okay, also, those I said it in our text messages. Those assistants that Cardiff has, those are some big dudes.
Those are goons, yeah.
Those weren't soccer coaches. Those were like, we're gonna go break some ankle. We're gonna break some knees.
They're old school, Huss. They're old school, bro. Leg breakers. All right, let's wrap this up real quick. Quick touch here. West Ham 0, Everton to this was the battle of the inconsistents. Looks like Everton is finding form again. I think that's 2 wins on the bounce for them.
West Ham looked like crap.
Yeah, they're done for the season.
In that stadium they have, again, everyone talks about how once you took those fans away from those players, the atmosphere there is horrendous. And you see it every time they play at home, that it's just like if you're
not good.
No, it's not good. No atmosphere.
Yeah, it's tough, man, because the club's looking at it for survival purposes, finances. So they kind of had to pick, either put the club in a strong financial positions, more gate receipts. It's also in a great location so they can do concerts and all that because it's in London. It was the Olympic Stadium. So, it's tough, man. I feel bad for the West Ham, brass, because it was just a good business move to make. But I also feel bad for the fans because, like you're saying, Huss, the atmosphere is dead there. The fans are so far removed. Yeah, it's unfortunate, man.
Since Payet left, man.
That's it, bro. Snake bitten, bro. Snake bitten.
It's been downhill.
It's fucked up,
bro. Still recovering.
But yeah, man, Everton pull it off. Zuma gets a goal. Bernard gets a goal as well. I like this Bernard guy making a bit of noise. Shout out to Richarlison. Played well here. Hit the post. He's looking promising, man. Looking promising. Let's keep it moving. Leicester 2, Bournemouth 0. Thought here was going to be a draw, man. I thought it was going to be a draw here. I thought Bournemouth were a little bit more backboned than they were.
Jamie Vardy and Javi Bonds and the crew took care of business. They took care of business, man. I love these guys, dude. And James Maddison, dude. The more I watch I'm seeing creativity, just bright spots. His confidence is growing. He's playing day in, day out, which is the most important thing. He's about 22 years old, 23. So he's maturing. He's not quite a youth prospect, and he's not a teenager.
That's the guy Tottenham gets if Eriksen leaves. Eriksen leaves, Tottenham needs to get that guy.
Great shot. This guy
22, yeah.
Madison to Spurs if Eriksen leaves. Not bad. For me, man, this Madison kid, if he keeps developing the way he is, I see him fitting into a Liverpool or Man City, that kind of quick pass, quick touch system, because his little touches, his movement in tight spaces, his, threat, goal-scoring threat is there, through balls, creativity. He's nice, man. This kid's really, really nice.
So Tielemans, man.
Tielemans, dude. Yeah, bro.
He kind of took that dip when he went to Monaco. I thought Man United was going to get him at a certain point.
We're linked with everyone.
Tielemans has been that guy who he reminds me. There was another guy. I'll remember it in a little bit. Steven Defour, where everyone was all about him, the Belgian guy. And something just happens, or João Moutinho, where everyone's about him, but it just never happens for him. Tielemans is still young, but I hear you, Tom. When he was at Monaco, everyone's like, all right, this is the next step for him. When he was at
Anderlecht, he was next, and then he was supposed to go to Monaco, just develop a little more.
At Anderlecht, everyone was looking at him all the top teams were in Monaco were the ones who took a risk. But at Anderlecht, I remember everyone United.
He picked the wrong club.
He did.
Wrong time.
Yeah, he did.
Players.
That's the day and age that we're living in right now, where there's so much pressure on these young talents. Because we see it with Tielemans, we saw it with Kessie.
That's not a bad move.
Your boy on Bayern Munich, Portugal. Renato Sanchez. Yeah, those type of players where when people see potential, people are getting that mixed up with talent. Potential and talent are two different things.
Good shot,
and it's starting to blend together.
Good shot, dude. Speaking of potential, bro, this African dude, Wilfred Ndidi, man, I fucking love this dude. He's got the shot, crazy shot power. He's got the lungs. He's got the size and physique. He's got a tiny bit of silk about him, enough silk for a number 6 to get himself out of trouble. Still very young, so still mistakes in his game. 22 years old, but watch out for this guy.
Nigerian John Obi.
Yes, bro. Yes, dude. Watch out for this kid, man. If he keeps developing the way I think he is, and especially he has to stay at Leicester the next 2 seasons. Put it together at Leicester. Don't leave. I think they're going to be this summer some teams coming for this kid, or at least linked with this kid. Stay 2 seasons at Leicester. I think there's a nice young group of players coming through. including Damari Gray, Javi Bonds, like Tom said. Madison's coming through. The defenders with guys like Maguire. They're putting together a nice team. So Ndidi, I think he's going to be the Conte of this team.
Oh, and by the way, England have found their starting left back at the national level. Ben Chilwell.
He's nice, man.
Ben Chilwell.
Another kid, bro. 22 years old, bro. This whole team, Studley, except the center backs.
Just one quick second. Huss mentioned Frank Kessie. I just gotta defend my boy real quick. This guy at Atalanta was basically a center back. Like he played the number 6, but he was basically a back three at all times. This guy's transformed into a sick box-to-box midfielder. Milan, I agree with that. That's definitely the wrong club because they're just shambles like constantly. But he has like elevated himself to another level. Like, bro, there was a goal he scored earlier this season where he dribbled from half. This guy has no right to be running through everybody, but just bulldozing everybody getting there. And power, bro. Top bins, bro. This guy, he's nice, bro. Just give him another season or two. Hopefully he'll leave Milan, get to a bigger club, and he'll be able to show his stuff, bro. I don't think Frank Kessie's washed yet.
Shots fired, bro.
While we're on it, I'd like to just kind of slide in a little bit and kind of segue via Brendan Rodgers, the old firm derby between Celtics and Rangers to today. Just a quick note, not to get into the game, but that Celtics fans were upset at
Celtic, bro.
Celtic. I live in Boston, man. It was Celtics.
Boston.
Freaking, Celtic fans were mad at, I guess, how Brendan Rodgers left mid-season. But for me, it's like, yo, sport, man. This dude won you guys the treble, like, undefeated.
No, you know what it was, bro?
Like, what do you like?
Nah, you know what it was? He called someone out. What's his name? That number 9, the black dude. He called out Musa Dembele for being a fucking snake, not buying into the project. Same thing he did to Sterling, by the way, being all about that money. If you look at that reputation Sterling got, a lot of it was manufactured by either the Liverpool brats who were pissed he wanted to leave, or Brendan Rodgers, actually, I should say. And so Rodgers has this fucking thing. Yeah, but Rodgers has a fucking thing of calling these players out in public. You can be mad behind the scenes, bro, and call people assholes. When you come out in public and you say, well, these teenagers nowadays, all about the money, blah, blah, blah. And then you fucking leave mid-season, bro. That's why they're fucking pissed, because this dude's a hypocrite. And I don't blame him for leaving. At the end of the day, I don't blame players for leaving. I don't blame the manager for leaving. Like you said, Tom, gave him a treble. But don't be calling out people for leaving the project and then you leave the project mid-season. That's fucked up. And I love Brendan Rodgers, by the way. I think he's next.
Well, shout out anyway to the old firm derby. 2-1.
Who won the game, bro? Who won the game?
2-1 win for Celtic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, brother. Pure domination, brother. I don't think they've lost in that game in like 5-10 years.
You better be right, bro, or else some Rangers fans coming for your ass.
This year? They pulled it 1-1, and he looked like, like he wouldn't slip. But as you know,
bananas. Huddersfield 0. Zaha doesn't get on the scoreboard, but did play. He was nursing an injury. Palace managed to get it done. Of course, dude, Milivojevic. I don't know why I don't have this guy in fantasy, because it looks like every fucking week Palace gets a fucking PK, dude. This dude is killing it, man.
You know what it is? Either he's gonna score with the PK or he's gonna get a yellow card. So
yeah,
poison. It's just like it's one of those things.
Bro, Tom, guess how many goals he has in the Premier League this season? Off the top of your head, 10, bro. How fucking crazy. Milo has 10. I'm sure like 9.5 of them are PKs.
Yo, Al's had him since day one.
He has, bro. Ride or die, Albert.
He's had it the whole time. Bro, but Zaha expertly earns the PK in this
Brilliant.
game. I mean, this dude, man, plus, I'll give him plus 0.5. There's about 50% chance he's going to score a goal. You give Messi, Ronaldo plus 1, I'm going to give Zaha plus 0.5, all right, when it comes to Crystal Palace. He's going to try. He earned the PK. You see his touch. It was beautiful. He set the defender up, acting like he was going to volley it with his left foot. Instead, first touch, cuts it inside to his right foot. I mean, damn, man, he's ready, man. This guy's ready.
Hey, Bus, you see who scored the second goal?
Who was that?
PVA.
How do you say it again, Huss? How do you say it?
Yeah, how do you?
PVA.
Who's PVA?
I don't know. Some guy.
Some dude.
Come on, man.
Some dude.
Patrick Van Aanholt.
You're the best, Huss. You're the fucking best. Burnley 2, Wolves
I didn't
0.
want to say it at all.
There's no
Fuck.
bite, bro. No Espiritu to this week.
Yeah, man. Wolves fucking blew their load on us, bro.
Yeah.
They're all jazzed out. They're chilling. Losing
International break, man. International. You know these things happen in international.
Nah,
break.
bro. None of these guys were repping their countries, bro. Nice try, bro. These dudes disrespected Burnley. They thought Burnley was, 2018 Burnley. There's a new Burnley in town finding themselves again. They blank Wolves, bro. Basically, it comes down to if Jimenez doesn't start, Wolves doesn't do work. They need to sign this dude. He's on loan from Benfica. They need to sign him, bro.
I'm not mad at that shout. I'm not mad at that shout at all. And I also think Wolves have a tendency, because they're such giant killers this year.
Yeah,
they have that sort of weird thing where they zone out against the bottom teams. They take them for granted almost, and they struggle, I believe, to get up for these type of games because, and that's kind of like a testament to where their mental space is. They're where they're in the FA Cup semifinals.
Yeah, man.
So they're in a like winner's mind. Where like, all right, like, well, for the big games, they seem to step up, but then for these sort of menial ones, man, they overlook them. So that's something I think they're gonna have to fix going into next year because that's going to get relegated. Right?
Thank you, bro. This is so dangerous to have a team like this. We've seen it with Swansea, Bournemouth. Again, I always bring them up because I don't want people to forget. In January, I think of 2018. They were sitting in the relegation zone. Eddie Howe's job was on the line. So, like, you can be a team that kills giants. You can be a team that plays attractive philosophy, football, hard work, all that shit. But if you can't fucking TCB Burnley or at least get some kind of result against teams like Burnley, like I'm saying, you're going to catch yourself slipping into relegation, man. They're still far from it. And I think their individual talent, especially if they secure Jimenez next season, their individual talent, I think, will buy him another season. But that third season, man, that's when like you start to decide, okay, are we about this Premier League grind, or have we had enough of the ride and now we're gonna, relax a bit? Like Huddersfield. Huddersfield was a team playing attractive football. Everyone's talking about Wagner being best friends with Klopp, and they play the similar philosophy. Blah blah blah. Next season comes, these dudes weren't about the Premier League grind. Wolves can't fall into that trap.
Well, it's all good, man. Because 3 years from now, anyway, Espiritu Santo will be coaching Man United.
He'll be coaching Arsenal, bro. He'll be coaching Arsenal.
Real happy with this team.
Brighton 0, Southampton 1. Southampton, dude, this is the most epic comeback, man. My fucking manager buddy, what's his name? Fucking Huss and Hurtle out here getting results, bro. I think they're. Fuck! I lost the stat. I had it here, but since he's come in, man, they've actually had like 180-degree turn, bro. It's brilliant.
You can't say these guys don't have heart, man. And they've been hard done in a couple of games too.
Yeah.
With the ball, the goals just went against them, and it's really that they're taking L's. So.
And they don't have number 9s, bro. They've gone what is it, like 3 seasons now without number 9s? Obviously, they've tried people in that position, but either they always get hurt or they suck.
Redmond.
Yeah.
Redmond has been all over this. Obviously, not just him. Got guys like James Ward-Prowse also stepping up.
Valerie too.
Yeah, Valerie making moves. Højbjerg, I think this may be his second goal in the past 2 games or something like that. But he's been on the score sheet lately, nonetheless. So
yeah,
they're finding ways to scrape by. And I've been talking about Angus Gunn, man. I like this goalie. He's still young, right? He's still got some ways to go, but I like this goalie as well.
Yeah, no, Angus Gunn is nice, man. Very promising kid. But yeah, man, that wraps it up for Premier League Matchday 32 review. Thank you for listening, guys. Before we go, anything else?
Yeah, Arsenal's playing tomorrow, bro.
Yeah, we got to do a prediction. I was about to say that. I was going to say, we got to put a prediction up there, bro.
All right, let's do it.
I'm going with Arsenal are at home. They're pretty much untouchable at home. I'm going 3-0. I think Aubameyang's gonna have 2, and then I think Cheeky Lacazette's gonna have 1 coming off the bench.
Well played, Snacks. Well played.
I got Arsenal 2-1 against Newcastle. I think those set pieces Newcastle does well. They're also very difficult to break down in the back, but like Snacks said, Arsenal is a bit of a monster at home, and I think the the inspiration they have, after this weekend's results, basically Arsenal could jump into third with the win. So I think they're going to pull it off 2-1.
I was going to say 2-1 too, but
2-1-2 is not a score, bro.
I was going to say 2-1 as well. But because you took that, I'm just going to go 5-0. Hey, why not? Why not? Let's go. Let's roll the dice. Let's roll the dice, dude.
Legend.
Aubameyang, all five.
Say 5-0.
Aubameyang,
I was going to go 2-1, but 5-1.
Look, man,
5-0. And Aubameyang is all of them.
There's some history here. Newcastle, I remember with the 4-4 game. Check Tiote. Tying it Arsenal.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
R.I.P. man. So, and Rafa always plays big teams tough.
Yes, he does.
So I
that's why I see 2-1.
Rondon's been playing well lately. Maybe a goal there, but I see Arsenal keeping a clean sheet.
Okay.
This would be potentially our third consecutive clean sheet.
First time in Arsenal history, by the way. FYI,
right, so
guys.
Undefeated. All right.
FYI.
Invincible. Yeah, all right. So, 2-0, but it will be a good game. But, we're coming back from Dubai. The boys have been in warm weather. We haven't played in 3 weeks.
Oh, wait, you guys didn't have international experience?
No, some dudes did, but
bums.
banging the crew. Hey, that's fine, bro. We're sitting in third. We're sitting pretty right now.
Wait. Ozil wasn't called up to Germany?
No, you're sitting in fifth, bro. You could be in third if you win. You're sitting in fifth.
You see, I'm positive thinking.
Okay, I see you. I see you.
Right?
And then just before we go, I asked this in the group chat. There's been a bunch of rumors. We'll save the whole transfer talk at the end of the season, so I don't want to go into that. But I did want to say there's been a lot of rumors circulating with Sancho and Hudson-Odoi. I asked Tiki. I asked everybody in the group, and Tiki and Al were the only two that responded.
Some responded.
Tom, who did you say? Did you say Sancho or
Sancho?
Hudson?
Not even close.
Okay, so Huss, question comes to you. Hudson-Odoi or Jadon Sancho? Like, if you were to pick one to have on your team, I don't want you to go into this whole thing. Well, we have Salah, so I don't know if he would fit. Like, if you were to pick one of these guys to play.
Well done, Snacks.
Are they the same price?
Yes, let's say all things equal, bro.
Chelsea would even sell to Liverpool.
All things equal. Chelsea did sell to Liverpool.
I don't know. Maybe. The thing is, you would have to choose Sancho now because he has more game time. Where Hudson-Odoi, again, it's potential. We haven't seen him as much as Sancho, so I don't want to phase potential and talent together at the moment. Where I've seen more Sancho than Hudson, so I have to go with Sancho.
Cool, man.
Not only that,
so what about you? I don't think you answered.
Oh yeah, no, I chose not to answer.
I think not to answer. That's an option.
I chose not to. I waited for the show. I waited for the show. I just think that with all the hype surrounding Sancho right now, it's just not a good. Especially with United, I just don't think it's going to be a good fit. I think he'd be good for us, but it's just that if we buy him for 140 mil, all this BS, he's going to come in. He'll have one bad game. The media, Sancho's not that good.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of pressure on him.
Disregarding the fact that he's 11 years old.
Well, it can't be any worse than Sanchez.
So I think I would go. I think I would just go Hudson-Odoi, just because. And this isn't me saying I think Hudson-Odoi is a better player. I think Hudson-Odoi could be a better player. I think that it's just all up in the air because they're both so young. Sancho right now is definitely better because he's getting more game time and he's balling with that game time. But, if you look at them in the international squad, Hudson-Odoi got a majority of the time during the international friendlies. And, I know international friendlies aren't a lot to say, but, it's still something to be going over Sancho. I know Sancho played, but Hudson-Odoi was the star. So I would go Hudson-Odoi. He'll be cheaper, and I think he'll be just as good, if not better.
It's nice. Regardless, as soon as you put that United jersey on, bro, there's gonna be pressure.
That's true.
Sancho's gonna have a higher price tag, so maybe slightly more pressure. But when Hudson-Odoi makes an appearance, or even if he doesn't make an appearance, then he'll be criticized for that, man. So put your nuts on the table, kid. You're gonna go to Bayern. What are you gonna do? We'll see what happens with him.
Yeah, Hudson needs to leave, man. Moral of the story: Hudson needs to leave and not get honey-dicked into staying.
I don't want
to give him playing time.
This was one of the rare international breaks where all of our teams were we're playing with transfer rumors and stuff like this. So I really wanted to talk about it, but Tiki made a bold choice. He's let's do end of the season. And don't
Yeah,
worry,
so
we'll have a lot. I already got a list compiled. So
yeah, the problem is we're not going to remember the rumors on March 31st. Obviously, if something gets confirmed, we'll bring it up on the show. But it gets fucking crazy at the end of the season. That's when the rumors really start to have some meat on them. Right now,
don't worry. I already got a list on that. I got a Word document all planned out.
Well,
So
this isn't a rumor. This is
Spine.
Who Arsenal should sign at left back next. Kieran Tierney from Celtic.
He's promising. He's a promising
that's the kid to go. If we can't get Alaba, we know he's originally an Arsenal fan growing up. Lucas Hernandez is the one, bro.
He's the one.
I called Alaba, Kieran Tierney left. Remember when I was like, get Virgil. This is the guy to get. This is what I'm saying with Tierney at fullback. Get Kieran Tierney.
Cool, man. All right, guys. There's some words of wisdom for you Guna fans out there. Thank you for listening. We'll catch you guys next week.
Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff.
Please. Thank you, Snacks. Good shout. All right, guys. Peace.
10%.